Hello, welcome to the Hive With Us podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Martinez. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Eddie Wilson. Let's jump into real estate. I think you covered a little bit of real estate stuff right now, but where does the real estate side, like multifamily, is you more because I think you're diversified. I think with the businesses, the multifamily, you said single family, commercial, like do you have like a real? I'm sure you have a real estate team that just goes
Yeah.
and buys now.
For the most part, I mean, I have an investor relations department inside. This is the building I'm in right now is called Collective Influence. It's my private equity firm. This is where all the businesses are housed, and this is headquarters. Inside of here, I have an investor relations team that vets and looks at all my deals, and then I have an external source that also vets from an asset side my deals. So real estate, I'm in the process right now doing a lot of multifamily because I'm trying to offset my non W-2 income. Multifamily is
Yeah.
a great strategy for so I cost segregate and all those types of things, hoping that the laws go in my favor this year and they allow us to get back to a higher level of depreciation.
Depreciation,
Yep.
100%
I'm
depreciation.
hoping, like hoping and praying. And because, for me, it's the easiest way for me to offset all this business non W-2 income. I own all these businesses and they kick off capital. And it's like, but, you get in a position where you're a high enough tax bracket, you just end up giving large chunks of it back to the government. And so for me, I'd much rather roll that into multifamily acquisition. So that's a big part of my strategy. I also, I'm building houses down in Cape Coral, Florida right now. I've timed some Florida markets really, really well. And, so I'm still kind of in the process of building some houses. Me and some partners, we're building a 44 unit on the water down in Cape Coral as well, about 1,800 linear feet of salt water. And it's going to have a marina and docks and all kinds of stuff. So I'm very diversified between like traditional, just multifamily, like workforce housing, a bunch of single family. I've got quite a bit of short term rental stuff. And then now I'm building more luxury type applications. And so I'm spread out. But to me, real estate is the American dream used to be buy your house, pay it off by the time you're 60, all this values in there, work your job and retire and have enough money to live on the rest of your life. To me, the American dream today is we should be creating enough passive income, because that's what this country allows us to do, to live life on our terms. And when you live life on your terms, then you can point it at purpose or whatever it is that you desire, whatever fulfills you. And so I'm a huge proponent of real estate because the tax advantages, as well as being able to create passive income that allows you to do life on your terms and create at a level that you wouldn't if you're just stuck in a 9 to 5 job, working, 40, 50 hours a week.
Yeah. I have a question, and I really want to gauge your answer on this one because one thing I've started diving into development and larger transactions as a whole. I think the biggest hack to I think business and real estate is
Mhm.
money, how you raise private money. So, what's your opinion on private money and building business and buying real estate correlate with you and your
Yeah,
what you're
I
doing now?
100% agree. Capital always chases deals. So I do feel like it has to be deal first, right? Like if you're just out trying to raise money, but you don't actually have access to good deals, like you're always hindered. Money always chases opportunity. So I feel like you have to get the opportunity down first. But I found myself in a spot where I was finding more opportunity than I had the capital to take advantage of. And so I went
Yeah.
out and I built a community. The community is called the American Association of Private Lenders, the AAPL. It's the largest aggregation of private capital in the world. I hold a conference every year in Las Vegas in November. If you need to source capital for real estate, like you've got to be at AAPL, because you literally have some of the wealthiest people in the world that just want to deploy money into people's hands that do real estate effectively. I built that because I knew I was going to have a greater need. Today, I have billions of dollars thrown at me for any deal I want to do. So what I did was I created this infinite stream of it, because I knew at some point I was going to need it. So now I hyper focus on the deal itself, and the money takes care of itself. It's like this deal I'm doing on a Cape Coral. I have so many people wanting to come into that deal with me. Like, hey, how do I get in that deal with you? And I may not have the room, and so then it's like, well, you can't get in that deal, but you can get in this deal over here. And so I syndicate a lot, to find people to put deals or to put their money into. And then I put a lot of money into other people's syndication deals. And so, but I think that how I find money is number one, it goes back to vision and it goes back to the deals themselves. If you're just out trying to aggregate money for the sake of aggregating money, money does not follow personality. Money always follows the deal, right? And so you can only get by on your personality and brand so long. At some point, you've got to come up with something that has a great potential, and then you got to sell it like that like you've never sold before, like the vision of what it can be. And so, to me, that's the
Yeah.
key. And if not, if you can't build a community like I built, then get in a community where it exists. Like there's so many groups that are built that have capital. And I speak at a annually, I speak at this big dental and doctor conference. The reason I speak there is because there's more disposable income in that room. Like so many people are like, why do you spend time going and speaking and trying to inspire dentists and doctors? It's like, well, you don't understand. Like I'm there intentionally. And it's because they have more money aggregated that they don't know what to do with, and they're scared of retirement. So why would I, if I got the opportunity, why wouldn't I go speak to them? And it's like, I always make time if there is capital in the room.
That is, I think it's a totally different conversation because a lot of people they're trying like a lot of people, especially I grew up in the
Yeah.
wholesaling world. That's how I got into real estate. Like just be honest, wholesaling, and then like there was a light bulb that switched. I'm like, man, if money, I can buy everything, and I'm not just having to
Right.
liquidate because the person I'm liquidating to is just somebody that raised the money. It's
Yeah.
not their money in most cases.
Yeah.
It's money they raised.
You
So
want
I'm
to
like, it was a money switch. It was a flip. Go
you want
ahead.
me to give you one of the craziest um I teach this all the time. So many people get told if you want to go into real estate, wholesale. It's the easiest barrier to entry. Like no money out of pocket, just get in the middle of the deal. You got to find a distressed asset and a potential investor and get in the middle of it and take your piece. And that is one of the easiest ways to get in real estate. And a ton of people start there, right? And they can roll their cash and they can go bigger and they can start flipping and they can start doing multifamily or whatever it is. And it's like this race to the top. Did you know if you actually come to my conference in November, the thing they need most is people that will deploy their capital. They Every conference that I have every year, and there's 800, 1,000 people there. They're super wealthy. They need to deploy money. They can't find people to deploy their money. They don't have enough deals. And this is the crazy dichotomy. As I've said to so many people, stop wholesaling assets and go wholesale money. If I were you, I actually built an entire course called the Certified Private Lender course, right? Because what I've said is like, if you sat at my conference and you said, hey, I'll help you find a place to put your money, let me broker it for you. You don't even have to have a broker license. Go wholesale their money. Take 2 points on every deal you originate, take a 0.5% on those deals, and they gladly will give it to you. And when you walk into a room of real estate investors, instead of saying like, "Hey, who has a deal?" or I got a wholesale product. If you come in and you go, "I'm the lender. I've got all the money." Every eye turns to you and goes, "Okay, let's talk." Right? Versus like, "Hey, I'm a wholesaler and I'm looking for the next deal, and I'm assigning things." And it's like you change the entire narrative if you can actually align yourself with capital. It's a crazy paradigm shift, but it's like I have a goal over the next year or two to literally take 5,000 wholesalers and go like, stop going after the next wholesale deal. Let me show you how to wholesale money.
So my partner, he's driving to South Texas right now. He was going to show up to this podcast, but he couldn't make the commute. He's going to be so mad that he missed this because that's something he preaches about. Like you should start
Yep.
selling money because literally it changes the dichotomy. And people looked at us because like I'm 6 years into the game, and we recently learned that epiphany that you just mentioned about money. That everybody's looking at us like, oh, where are you getting the money? Where are you getting the money? I'm like, I don't. You just explained it perfectly,
Yeah.
right there. You just explained it perfectly. Is that there's unlimited money out there looking for opportunities. If you know how to create opportunities, you can place that money and you can
Right.
become the lender. And the lender, in most cases, makes more money than everybody.
The person that is lending the dollars at the closing table is always making more money. They
Oh,
just do.
I think I tweeted yesterday is that everybody wants to own because it's the cool thing, but becoming the lender and seller financing is where real ROI is made.
100%.
It's insane. I love this conversation. This is such a great. I love the money side of conversations too because not a lot of people talk about it
Mhm.
because if ever listen to this episode, if you just went there and find money, it would change your whole real estate trajectory from 10 years
Sure.
of I hate this. I hate this phrase of like, "Oh, I reinvest all my capital to." I'm like, no, 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 just
Yeah.
go raise money, please.
Right.
Go raise money because it'll change the trajectory of like your 10-year plan could be
Mhm.
shortened into 3 years
Right.
if you just went out and raised money.
Agreed.
It's literally insane. So I'm glad you mentioned this. For everybody here listening, go raise some money. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I love that you created a community around money to raise money because you know you would need that in the future. That is very visionary of you. A lot of people don't have the vision of doing that. And it's funny because my partner, he's gonna be mad about this. We're trying to create that place where people bring money together, and that's one of the things. But I mean,
Great.
it's one of the things because we know we have a grander vision and goals of what we want to do, and we know we're gonna need outside capital to do so. So you have to create the vision, a bigger vision than what's out there for
Right.
people to align to your money opportunities, and then you have all the money you need
Yeah.
to do whatever you want
100%.
to do.
100%.
This is such an amazing conversation.
Hey, if you have any deals you'd like to submit to the Hive Mind and our team, go to hivebc.io. It's actually the Hive Buyers Club. Submit your deals and we can hopefully dispose your deal for you. Have a great day.